Okay. Just in case there actually is somebody in the chat. I'm not sure. But yeah, Matt is at the theater to watch Captain Marvel.
No. You better like it or he's a sexist. We got somebody. Oh, that's you.
I think that's me.
Anyways, the only thing I don't like about season 10 so far is the workroom. That new, like I was joking about last night, like bedazzled, like really textured. It's not actually textured. It's like a print of a texture on all the walls of the workroom.
Yeah.
It's so pink. It's like they didn't tune the colors for print, except it's not print, it's for like camera. Like it's so pink, it's like blowing out the cameras.
Yeah,
and it's
Rue was not standing out against it last night.
It's really, really bad.
Where is my brush? Where's my brush?
So I don't like that. I like that they figured out something about the way they filmed the makeup sequence. It's like they have more cameras or something.
Oh yeah.
Like there was more space. Like the space created where they had cameras placed and stuff. Just it felt better.
Yeah.
It was good. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, so whoever's gonna be watching this later, if you guys actually watch the videos, I'm just gonna work on this until somebody shows up. I might continue working on this when people show up. We'll see.
I'm just gonna talk about a drag race.
Yeah, we like drag race. How big is your brush when you ink?
You use the same one I do, right?
I have it
that's
at
Rob,
20.
Right? Is that Rob?
No, it's Carson. Hi, Carson.
Oh, it's Carson. Sorry, I'm across the room and I saw a C. So since Rob goes by Cutlash,
right?
I figured it could have been either of you. But yeah, no. What was I talking about?
Your brush size.
No, I was talking about drag race.
I was asking you what your brush size is.
Right. Oh fuck. 12.
Really? Okay.
Why? What do you do?
I do 20. But that's usually because I'm zoomed in to like 250%.
I do 12, and then I learn to get off the fucking gas.
Yeah.
Like, and do it gingerly and with a light hand, which is probably the most important skill to inking.
But I find I really don't have that control I like. Zoomed in at 100%, but I'm gonna get good. I'm gonna get good.
Why are you zoomed into 100%? I just, like what?
To ink, I usually zoom in to like 250.
Why
Now I
did you
feel
do
like
that? No.
because I have more control over the brush, I'm able to get the lines that I really
like. Yeah, but
like.
you're also on an infinite canvas essentially. Because in digital, you can just zoom in and out forever. Not forever, but a lot.
I don't. Yeah, I know, and I think that's the problem. I'm wondering if I should just get good at inking at 100% rather than fiddling tiny details that I really don't need to do. I fell into that trap with that Dragonborn. There were so many fiddly details, I didn't need to do that. Carson, how are you today? Also, please let me know if the audio is shit.
Audio is never shit. Yeah, it is good. Is it already set up for 16:9?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. but it wouldn't work on phone.
I mean, of course not.
What, is the audio off?
Must be.
No, my mic is on.
Oh.
Oh, phew. Okay. I was like, did I screw up again?
Wait, was somebody else muted?
No, Rage was asking if it was off, but then he said that it's working again.
Oh, weird.
Thank goodness. I thought I had messed up again.
Yeah, because Carson didn't seem to answer you at the beginning.
Rage says he's just a Muppet.
Who?
Rage.
Who is?
He said he's just a Muppet.
What is?
He, as in him.
Yeah,
Himself.
what does that mean?
It was his goof, not mine. About the audio.
What does that have to do with Muppets?
That's what you say when you're being a goofball. I'm a Muppet.
Since when? Is that an Arizona thing?
No. Actually, the place I've heard it the most is overseas.
Weird. Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay, since there's more than one of you in here now, I don't know what I'm doing today. I figured I would work on this. If you guys are cool watching me ink. If not, that's fine. If you want to tell me what to draw, that's cool too. Just let me know. I guess I should show you. But yeah, you guys are getting a wallpaper, if you can see that. I think we've decided these plants aren't necessarily canon because they're a little too. What would you? Nightmare Before Christmas.
They just look like edgelord shit a little bit. Or no, I said they look too alien.
You said Nightmare Before Christmas.
No, I did because the spiral, but as the conversation continued, I said they look a little too alien because I said the freestanding ash looked the same. Like when it looks like
it
looks like Geiger kind of hoses, that's where I start to my eyes glaze over. Which is fine. Like I'm not saying that we can't have giant cinnamon. But like I think we should revisit it to give it a more interesting shape than just Tim Burton spirals. Or have it so that it feels more, I don't want to say more natural. I guess I do mean that. It looks I don't know, unnatural to me. It looks like somebody did that on purpose. They're like, yeah, this is edgy.
I wasn't going for edgy.
No, I mean, you never go for edgy. You go for sweet Disney movie sing song.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I guess you guys are watching me eat today. Thank you. Who showed up? Omar! No, actually, this is, you guys are getting a wallpaper eventually when I finish doing everything. But this is actually based on one of your requests from a couple of streams ago. You were asking me to do plants or whatnot. And I really liked the shape of one of them. And so yeah, I'm going to finish it. You guys will eventually get this wallpaper. Also, Rob showed up and he says, thanks again, Ty.
Shut up.
But yeah, I figured I'd give you the choice, but it seems you guys are okay watching me ink today. So we're going to ink.
My next commission is Trap Jaw from the Muscle World.
He-Man?
Yeah.
Muscle World.
And also the reason I asked if the dude who got that commission was okay with like reinterpretation, like to what degree I'm allowed to kind of go nuts with the design. I think I'm gonna put a dick in it.
Oh, how?
Well, because I mean he's biologically male, presumably he has a penis.
Right, it's full body. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I forgot you were doing the full body thing. I'm so used to just doing headshots for Brett that.
I'd be doing heads, if it wasn't going to cannibalize your cells because they're way easier to draw.
They are, yeah.
It's just we both need like if we can get more money by offering different things, then that's better. People being like, oh, who do I want to get to draw this head? No, fuck that. You get the heads, I'll get the bodies. But I figure Eternia is just a bunch of big sweaty guys punching each other. So like, does Trapjaw need like? Do they have modesty? I mean, I get that they do. I get that Randor's kingdom or whatever the fuck it is it just like a walled city in Eternia?
I thought so. I'm not.
Whatever his
sure.
domain is, that's
Yeah.
where all the floppy fancy people who wear puffy sleeves live. But like out in the wasteland, Snake Mountain and shit, it's like it's just a bunch of muscle hulks punching each other. And so it's like, who cares? They're just naked. I'll just put Trapjaw's dick in it.
I would maybe talk to Brett first because I don't know Brett well enough to know whether or not he'd be okay with that.
Yes, yeah, fair enough. Just put Trapjaw's dick in it. Like I wasn't gonna get weird with it. It would just it would just be there. Cause like I was gonna like look at like actual like competition like bodybuilder shit and stuff.
That's fun.
I was just gonna put his dick in it. Cause like why not?
Yeah, I know. It's
But
just,
like take like life drawing style, like just tastefully put his dick in it. This giant muscle man with a bear trap for a mouth and a gun hand.
God, I kind of miss going to the academy.
So go.
It's all the way the hell over there.
Oh yeah, that's true. But it seems to be the kind of thing where you just call up Fernando and be like, "Hey, you need a model?" And he'll be like, "Yeah, yeah, we always need models."
The academy is this wonderful, very lovely school in downtown Toronto that I used to do life drawing poses for. So if you look hard enough, I'm naked on the internet. But it was really wonderful. I love the location, and the teachers were all really cool, and they liked to compliment me because my default face is a smile. It was fun. There was one girl in like the long pose class that I was doing who had like the perfect spot, so the light in the room reflected off of my stupid stretched ears. And,
so stupid.
and so she had like this really cool shine in her piece that was bouncing off of my ear holes. One year, they all the students got together and collected money for me to pose a little bit longer, like before the Christmas break. I thought that was really cool. It was just a nice environment to be in.
This is your brother, right?
Yeah, that's dude.
Yeah.
Doesn't Chris look like him? It's so weird.
No.
You don't think so?
Based on this photo, not even close. No.
Really?
No. Based on like a couple of the older ones, maybe. Sorry, it's just he showed up in my like people we suggest you follow.
Yeah, no, I'm glad he's using Instagram.
I don't know if he's using Instagram. He's
He-
just people I suggest you follow.
He is.
Uh-huh.
Like he's posting photos that he's taken and whatnot. Doll is helping.
A whole bunch of bastards. Oh my god. Oh, sorry. Omar's talking about. Oh, I didn't know that. No, He-Man was one of those things where like I'm just too young. Like just barely. Like He-Man was dying off while I was like 1 and 2. So I mean, I didn't watch it as a kid, and then in high school it was really fun as like an ironic thing because of the Christmas special and the Dolph Lundgren movie. And I don't know. Personally, it's just one of those things where like, it's too exhausting to like it ironically anymore. Liking things ironically is increasingly exhausting. I don't even like to seek out bad movies anymore. I just have other people watch them on the internet and do videos about them. Yeah, we didn't, but we did get that 2003 show that is admittedly very good.
The character designs, like the updated designs, are really
The action
nice.
figures were fucking excellent. They were really good.
I can't remember what channel I would watch He-Man on. Like I didn't see a lot of it. I remember watching it as a kid, so it must have been on like cheap cable.
No, I'm sure there was reruns for a while. Like we were always too poor to have anything but network. So I didn't get a lot of He-Man. I don't think it was on network.
Well, I mean, it would have to have been in the States. I can't remember what channel that was. What? What is that?
Visionaries were those figures that they were your typical 80s action figure where they're guys in like mechanical suits, kind of, but they had like I might be mixing this up with something else. Visionaries, I believe, are the ones that they kind of held like stop signs, and the stop signs had like holographic pictures on them.
I remember the toys. Yeah. I remember the toys. I don't think I've ever seen like the cartoon.
They were all commercials for toys.
I mean, yeah.
Especially, except for that one that John never shuts up about, fucking Odysseus in the 30th century or whatever the fuck, that like nobody's ever heard of but him. And it's this like redheaded space Jesus who's in space. And I don't think there were action figures for it, which is absolutely bizarre because that's what television for children.
That's what 80s TV
I mean, that's what it's always been.
Yeah.
But like, especially in the 80s, they were literally just commercials for action figures.
Omar says...
Ulysses 31. Yeah, that's it.
Omar knows his shit.
Well, it sounds like Omar was watching his shit up until last Thursday. But yeah, John is always talking about Ulysses 31 and how, like, oh, nobody remembers this one. It's like, it's because, like, fuck, dude. He-Man was a thing. It was Dawn of the Ninja Turtles. God, I watched Ninja Turtles. I watched Ninja Turtles, and, like, I missed Transformers. I loved Transformers, but my love was purely for the figures. I never really watched the show. Real Ghostbusters, Ninja Turtles, Teddy Ruxpin. I watched a fuckload of Teddy Ruxpin.
I remember catching that a couple of times.
Bunch of European shit. There was this one show that I watched so much of that I wouldn't be able to tell you a goddamn thing about it now. But like it was clearly so European. Like it looked like an Asterix comic.
Oh.
And it starred like a. Oh, this isn't gonna help. It started like they were anthro, but not in the in the American way, like the gummy bears. They were anthro in that European way. So they looked like the Swefts. They just all had like maybe they were frogs, maybe they were bears. Like you can't really tell because they're all such simple shapes. And I'm trying to remember the name of it. I don't remember anything about it. I just remember I watched this damn show all the goddamn time. I still need to do Eureka's Castle
Oh
fan
my
art.
god, yes.
I've been meaning to do Eureka's Castle fan art. That's neither here nor there. That's like 10 years later.
No, my big cartoons were Ninja Turtles, of course, because Raph was my boyfriend, and Biker Mice from Mars. That was my jam. I loved that show.
I actively refused to watch Ninja Turtles clones. I was just Team Ninja Turtles.
But they're not Ninja Turtle clones.
Are you fucking kidding me?
They're not.
You don't think that the meeting in which the Biker Mice were greenlit wasn't just like, we need in on these fucking anthro superhero teams that have a favorite food?
I'm sure it was something that they invoked. But
I'm
like
sure.
if you watch the show, it's
I'm
nothing
sure
like Turtles.
it doesn't fucking matter. It was created because Ninja Turtles.
Okay, but the show itself is nothing like the Turtles.
I didn't say it was. I said it exists because Ninja Turtles. The only reason that you would have something as ridiculous as Biker Mice from Mars is because they were like, wow, that Ninja Turtles is making literally billions of dollars. We want that. And instead of, I forget what, Ninja Turtles had pizza, Biker Mice had, was it hot dogs? It was hot dogs, right? I'm almost positive it was hot dogs. You had to have a fucking...
I'm pretty sure
A team of-
Vinny liked chili dogs. I think
No,
that's what
Sonic
it
was chili dogs.
Chili, right. So maybe it was
I'm
just
pretty
hot
sure.
dogs.
I'm pretty sure it was just hot dogs. Because I remember thinking it was funny that their food was so basic.
Omar's asking, would that be Misha the bear?
No. I mean, like, maybe, but that does not ring a bell at all.
Never got into Street Sharks. I'm not familiar with it except for the designs. I thought the designs were great, but like
And the
that's
Vin
it.
Diesel video that went viral a few years ago. Of
Right.
him, like, playing with Street Star figures in a commercial. But yeah, you had to have three or four anthro whatever the fucks. They had to have a human best friend who was like the only person who knew about them. They had to have a favorite food. They had to have a clandestine hideout in an innocuous, like, human forgotten space. So like, Ninja Turtles obviously had the sewers. Biker Mice from Mars, if I remember correctly, didn't they live in a scoreboard on like a baseball field?
Yeah.
And didn't like the side of the scoreboard like opened up and their bikes would like?
No, they lived with Charlie and her.
Who the
and-
fuck is Charlie? Oh, Charlie was their human
Yeah.
secret friend. Yeah.
I thought they lived with Charlie and her.
Oh, the
Like,
garage, of course.
yeah,
They have a
her
fucking
garage.
garage. Yeah. Who lived in a scoreboard? Somebody lived in a
I
scoreboard.
don't remember.
And the scoreboard, like the side of the scoreboard opened up, and they would just like ride out on their vehicle. What the hell happened to my hand?
Did you do?
I'm still piecing it together.
Oh. Well, don't scratch anymore at it. I remember Bucky O'Hare.
Bucky O'Hare is the ugliest character design ever made. It is absolutely unbelievable. It's like you're gonna put that many lines on his fucking face. You're going to give him an unsettlingly realistic rabbit mouth, like where he's got that like turned up lip and like you can see his gums and shit. It's like, why are you doing that? Like, besides it being ugly, that's a bitch to draw in an animated show. Simplify that shit. I thought Forearm Daffy Duck was like the coolest thing ever, though. I don't remember anything about the show. I just remember those two character designs and how Bucky O'Hare is just gross.
Do any of you remember David the Gnome? Because I brought it up, I don't know, about a month ago to Ty, and he doesn't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, see, Carson. Sorry, continue with your thing. I just while everybody's furiously typing. I was gonna make a comment about Carson. I guess is the exception to the rule here, But because Carson, I'm guessing by you growing up with Avatar and Nickelodeon, that means you're 10 years younger. But webcomics seem to be primarily created by and read by like 19 to 24-year-olds, whereas like Rising Sand, I was gonna say Drugs and Wires, but no, Drugs and Wires readership is mostly like
I'd say
wannabe
they're
mall
younger.
goths. Yeah. But Rising Sand seems to be patronized by primarily like 35-year-old D&D players, and I couldn't be happier. Because nobody's like spamming emojis in chat or anything. It's just kind of like, we're just here to fire around.
Speaking of spamming emojis, we, in case you didn't catch it on Twitter, a friend of ours from Toronto was doing fan art on his Twitch stream, and he's got like what 24,000 followers.
I think it's 26.
Was it 26? That's awesome. But yeah, we hung out on Twitch for a while.
5 hours.
Was it 5 hours?
It was 5 hours.
It ruined our productivity that day, but whatever. It was awesome. And he, at the end of the stream, he was like, okay, you guys are going to follow me over to another Twitch channel where we're going to raid. And I've never done this shit before. And I completely failed miserably my first raid. Like, I went to go copy and paste the message that we were supposed to do. But it copied the text of the emoji and not the emoji itself. So I was just hitting, like, Carson sad face emoji. It was terrible.
Wow, seriously?
You're 21?
Holy fuck! Yeah, no, you're like the like intended demographic for webcomics.
God, I don't even remember being 21.
What was I? I was 21. What year was that? That would have been 2007. Yeah, I was 21 the year the iPhone came out. Wow, so you're one of those people who, like, you would have had phones in high school. That's fucking wild.
Yeah, I didn't get my first cell phone until I was in college.
Yeah, I didn't get my first cell phone until I was in college, and it was a fucking flip phone.
Mine was a brick.
Yeah.
It was that thick and like that big, and it had an antenna you had to pull out of it.
Mine was that one that you've seen that just looks like a weird, like, breathing apparatus you would put in your ass. If you were gonna... I guess I was thinking of that Futurama episode where they put breathing apparatuses in their ass. It looked like something like that. Like, it would be like some sort of like future thing where it's like, you can go into the vacuum of space if you only stick this in your ass. That's what my first phone looked like.
Okay. Look, did she jump down?
Yeah, she's gone. She's not even in the room anymore. Oh, here she is again.
Oh, but yeah, Rising Sand's birthday was quite lovely. We found out one of our favorite coffee places was Tim Hortons.
One of our favorite coffee places, like it's not Tim Hortons.
When we moved out to where we're at now, there's nothing. We have to take transit to get anywhere, whereas we're used to just walking, 20 feet, and there'd be 4 different Starbucks. But
Thank you, Omar, by the way.
Oh yeah, thank you, Omar. But yeah, we found out that there's a Tim's not too far from our apartment. That was awesome. And it's 24 hours, which is really cool.
I would just like to say for the record that Tim Hortons is not one of my favorite coffee places.
It's the one we can afford.
Live in poverty. It is literally the only coffee place I can afford. And thereby it is only my favorite, and that is the one that I have to go to if I want coffee while abroad.
I will say, the coffee we got was good.
It was fine.
It was good.
Tim Hortons is an utter crapshoot every time, though. As coffee tends to be. Those
Oh, that's wild. Nobody had a cell phone. If you had a beeper, that meant you were a drug dealer. when I was in school. But yeah, nobody had cell phones until we went to college, and that was in '99.
Yeah, I was almost done college by the time social media was a thing. No, we do not have a P.O. box. I should get one of them very soon, though, because I don't want 300 of you people to have my fucking home address. So...
It'd be wise to get one anyway, because our...
Oh,
holy shit!
I'd be so fucking into that, dude. Seriously.
Oh my god! Okay, we're getting a P.O. box tomorrow.
But no, I gotta go down to the post office soon, and I not only have to get a P.O. box, I have to sign up for, there's like a small business thing I can sign up for that'll get me a deal if I have to mail a ton of crap. And obviously, in the coming months, I'm gonna have to email the other one, the one that's not E, a bunch of books to you people. By the way, I hope nobody minds. I mean, I know nobody who's in this chat room minds, but people who go to TCAF are going to get books before the Kickstarter backers, and I hope nobody is mad about that. That's just, like, I can't control TCAF. That's just how the cookie.
He says he's seen people get mad if they've backed a Kickstarter.
All the time.
But, like, somebody at, like, a local show gets their books first. I've never seen that before.
Kickstarter people get pissed if... Well, I guess it's more for, like, real products. If a real product, like, hits a store... Before the Kickstarter backers get it, they usually get pissed.
That part sucks. I think for comics, people understand that they're funding a print run. And that if we have local shows, people are going to get their books first there.
Yeah, people who go to TCAF are definitely going to be the first people to actually get their hands on the book.
I don't know. I don't understand being angry about that, but...
We do have 3 Kickstarter backers, I think, who are going to be getting their books at TCAF. Kristen. Carson.
Who was it? Omar, was that you that said that you were going to try to show?
Yes, it was.
Because that'd be awesome. If you can.
Please do not feel obligated in any way, shape, or form.
Thank you, Carson.
Yeah, no, you guys are wonderful folk.
Yeah, I like you.
What do you mean you almost made it to Toronto past tense?
Remember, he was looking to hang out with, like, local friends. And maybe hitting TCAF, but I guess that didn't work out.
No, I do remember that, but like did this already occur? Or maybe I'm just reading that completely wrong. Oh, yeah.
Oh, balls. Yeah, that part sucks.
That is balls. These are just stupid. Just let people go where they want. Just let people go where they want. Fuck map lines.
Would certainly make our shit easier.
Yup. Oh, we gotta get a hold of Virginia and ask about that thing that, now that I say it out loud, is not actually related to your immigration. So never mind. I will shut up now. God, we better get our friggin' books for TCAF.
Yeah. Our printer is lovely. She's the lady that we're talking with at the printer is really great. We're just cutting it super close.
I'm still worried there's a miscommunication somewhere. Like, 'cause she's still saying the books will be ready by May. I don't care if they're ready. I need them in my hand by May, and you're sending them from another country.
It's like right across the border. I think we'll be okay.
Right across the border, but it's also going to be a giant box that Customs is going to be like, are these pages made of cocaine? Or what? Not that cocaine comes from, what is it, Illinois?
Yeah.
And right across the board, isn't Illinois like way the fuck left?
Oh, but they're
On
like
that?
I thought they were pretty close to the Canadian border though, so it's not like it has long to go.
I don't know. I just need those goddamn books. I also need to start developing our banner like today.
Yeah.
If we're gonna get that in time, and we should probably get the prints while we're doing Blitz stuff, because I assume Blitz will do our banner. And if they don't, Staples does do them. That is where I bought the actual ding dong thing.
The ding dong thing.
The thing that holds the.
The stand?
Yeah, whatever.
The ding dong thing.
Then I gotta figure out how to put the extremely horizontal Rising Sam logo into a vertical banner. I know everybody will yell at me if I just put the Broken Sun with no text.
Yes.
Even if I do put a Looney Tunes style doll in the Broken Sun. Yeah, see, that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about customers being like, let's taste each book and make sure it's not Coke. Something you need to get good at, and it's just a matter of just getting used to it. You've accidentally fallen into that trap where it looks like you drew doll much bigger and then sized her down due to how thick the lines are on the. Because you're taking more care with doll than you did with the Nightmare Before Christmas thing.
Well, I
So it's
inked
got much
most
thicker
of her.
lines.
I inked most of her at 100%. I made the pen smaller so it looks finer.
But everything should be like a uniform fine. Otherwise, it looks like you drew them at different sizes, and then shrunk them to. You know how we're always talking about comics that do that? It's just a matter of learning control.
So I should probably fatten up a couple of lines then.
No, you should probably thin out the others. Because I would say doll looks better.
Re-ink everything?
Now, what I sometimes do is I just carve out the sides of my inks, and you also don't have to do that. You don't have to listen to me. It's your art. You do whatever you want.
That's true. We don't have a lot of wiggle room. So I worry about extra costs like that. But I mean, if they happen, then we'll figure it out.
I just wish Michelle stopped sidestepping the goddamn question. I get that she doesn't want to say anything because I could, potentially hold her to it. What is this bullshit? I'm waylaid by cat.
Leo. Oh, yeah.
What is what?
Omar's saying he means some companies or types of companies move so much stuff between borders that they usually move faster. And a book company is probably one of those.
I hope so. That'd be fun. Because I really hope I wasn't right and that they weren't saying 8 weeks. Because, I think we're at the point now where we won't make it if it takes 8 weeks. We need them to hurry the hell up.
Well, she said they'd be ready for shipping at the end of March. We don't have the exact date yet because we're waiting on something. I don't remember what it was. It's mentioned in the email, but so end of March books are supposed to be sent our way. And coming from Illinois, I'm hoping that it's not going to take like a full 8 weeks.
I certainly hope. What the fuck?
What?
Okay, somebody.
They print right there in Illinois. They have a huge like building, and if you go to their website, it's Versa Print, I think, like
Versa
.com.
Press.
It's Versa Press.
Versa Press is the name of it.
Yeah, but yeah, they got photos of like their actual like printing facilities there on site, and it's really awesome. The company I think is 80 years old. I'm sorry. What were you? What?
Just Russian concept artists descending on me right now, and I don't know why.
At
On Twitter,
oh.
actually.
Who retweet? What's her name? What is her name? What is the character you just drew?
Kalia.
Kalia?
Kalia. I don't know. Kalia. There's 2 A's to make it cooler.
She's pretty cool.
The original art is not good. Not when you see it up close.
Yeah, we went looking for reference for her, and it's all one card. But I had no idea that it was a thing for people to do, like take magic cards and paint over them to like complete the image without all the the stats and whatnot. I had no idea that was a thing that like people do, but like there were multiple scans of edited cards like that of her, and none of them were the same because nobody knows what like the bottom half of like her legs looks like.
Oh no, I meant like the original art.
Oh yeah, that was kind of
The
a hot
actual
mess.
art
Yeah.
is bad. Like it's not good art. Yeah, I'm sure it looks fine at like card size, but like seeing a giant scan of it is not very good. I have never seen that. So to be fair, like I only Googled it like once.
And most of the images I found were either paint overs of the card, which is crazy because from what I could tell, it's a pretty rare card. I was like, you just gonna paint on that? And people like doing alternate art for the card and just drawing whoever the hell they want and just calling it the same character, which I guess is fine.
You want it to be recognizable as her though.
All you need is the angel wings and demon wings at the same
That's
time.
true. I forgot that about her.
Edgelord.
I thought you did a really nice job.
Yeah, I think it turned out really good. I like it. Also, this was entirely done on 1 layer of shadows. So by 2nd layer of shadows. In Rising Sand, I mean.
Wait, what?
This was done entirely with 1 shadow layer.
Yeah,
so
good job.
screw it. The 2nd shadow layer is gone forever. What a time, son.
I think when you started it, it was something that we needed, but as you've grown and figured out other means of doing shit, we could probably drop the 2nd layer.
I disagree. I don't think we ever needed it. I think I was scared because I wanted to be taken seriously so bad that I was just throwing any trick in to make the art more polished and taking way too much time to do that. And I think I have to trust that, yeah, we're making a really good looking comic. I don't need to do all these things. Now, I've obviously gotten better at utilizing one layer of shadows as opposed to the very beginning of the comic, but I don't know if we ever needed that. You know what I think it was? I think that in the beginning when I was doing kind of that pastel and things just look lower contrast, because I wasn't brave enough to use higher contrast, darker shadows, I felt the need to put in that second layer just so that like there was a higher value range in the image.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, fuck it, just use darker shadows and it's exactly the same. It takes half the time, literally half the time.
Poopy. What are you doing? Oh, Monty news. We have not seen him in several days, and we have raccoons. They've discovered us and have eaten his food. So we're putting his food out earlier in the day now and hoping that he'll just get the picture and start coming by a little bit earlier. Because we can't leave it out overnight anymore. There have been new Monty prints though, which means he's come by to visit and see where his food is and found it not there, which really sucks. Yeah, I really like raccoons too, but I just, fuck off. That's Monty's food.
Yeah, literally everybody's been suggesting that. Like I have money.
It's a really cool idea. So they do have crazy climbing skills. But apparently if you do put food like higher than they can jump, they won't try. Apparently. Also, I read a thing about, what was it, Epsom salts? Like, make like a literal salt circle around the food. I don't know how true that is. I only found one mention of it. I haven't looked into it further.
I don't think it would ultimately deter a raccoon from getting a tasty bowl of food right there in front of it anyways.
I think you'd just be like, gross, 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 like crossing it while taking the food.
Is what a thing that's already sold? Boxes that open with sensor? Yeah, totally.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. I did find like raccoon deterring boxes that aren't like right to the camera or anything, but like there's something about the like the curtain, and the hole is too small for, I guess, a normal raccoon to get through. The thing is, I don't think our raccoons are normal. Their prints are huge.
No, raccoons have big hands.
They're huge.
And raccoons are also big. Like, they're not terribly small animals. Like they're probably as big as Monty is.
God,
Thankfully, Monty's a big cat.
Monty's
Yes.
huge.
There would be a chance that he would be much smaller than the raccoons, and then when it ultimately comes to a fist fight, he would lose.
I come from the Southwest, and where there are raccoons aplenty, but they're all like mushed into the road. I've never seen a live one out in the wild. Same with possums. I've never seen a live possum or armadillo. Just on the side of the road. It's awful. They are cool. I like them. I'd like to see a live one day.
Yeah, me too.
Armadillos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Armored mammals are the weirdest.
They're pretty cool. Guillaume! Hello!
Oh, fuck!
I am working on a wallpaper that patrons are going to eventually get. Hold on. If I push the right button, you'll be able to see it. But yeah. Eventually, I will have this done and colored, and everybody who's giving us money is getting this. Well, $2 and up. Yeah, Omar, ideally we would love to catch Monty and just make him a house cat. But he's very distrusting of people, and I need to find a place that either rents out cages, like traps, humane traps, or we got to get somebody to come out here and get him themselves, but we need to know exactly where he is in order for them to do that, because otherwise they're not going to waste their time.
And we kind of need to do it while a vet is still open,
Yeah,
or while a shelter is still open, so we can like go get his shots immediately.
I believe there's a 24-hour emergency vet not too far from here. Yay! Thank you, Guillaume. He says happy webcomic anniversary.
It's never too late. Each day is an anniversary.
Does that mean we can get another pizza?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
But yeah, I figured today would be a little bit different. You guys could just watch me ink while we shoot the shit about whatever.
I'm always shooting shit. Yeah, I really hope we are.
Well into Act 2 by this time next year. By the time we're at year 4.
Oh yeah.
Ideally, I'd like to be like almost done, at least making it. That's a tall order, but not.
I think if we're not dummies, we could probably make that happen.
That'd be great.
I think I've lost track of what I was doing here. Yeah, okay. Trying to do this thing where I go mostly right to inks from my red pencil stage, which is okay. But I usually take it to the purple stage where it's a little cleaner. But I'm trying to trust myself a bit more.
There's a purple stage?
Or blue, whatever color I decide to go with that day.
Oh, I wasn't splitting hairs. I just figured, like, is there a pencil stage that I don't see in the pages?
No, I mean, well, yeah, this is the blue stage. Like what you get. My clean pencils.
It's just purple right now.
It's just purple right
Oh, I
now.
see.
I just decided to go purple. And I don't know if doing it this way is saving time just yet. Probably because I keep picking pieces that where I really can't tell the difference. Like inking this shit is not a big deal. It's just twisty turny stuff, and I don't really need to worry about it. But I should really pick like a full body character and see how it goes.
Colby's being rather agreeable.
So out of character for
Not even
Colby.
screaming for pets.
Oh, no, there it is.
Holy.
Never mind. There it is.
I'm kind of bored now. Wait, no, I can work on that one.
Yeah, that's part of what I hate the most about drawing while there's an audience is reaching the parts that like I'm uncomfortable with or that would be intensely boring to watch and stuff. So like I try to save some stuff for stream that is like fun and interesting and easy. So I give the illusion of making progress.
I might just take requests for the next hour. I don't remember who the first to show was.
Carson.
It was Carson. Carson, if you'd like to tell me what to draw.
My art tweet from earlier is at 47 likes, which for a Sunday is absolutely phenomenal.
That's the commission?
Yeah,
Nice.
for a like Sunday is a wasteland on Twitter. Like nothing happens on Sunday.
Yeah, no, it's dead zone.
So for 47 for a Sunday, that's really good.
Aw, that's cute. Yeah. Yeah, that's coming along.
It was good.
Thanks. Carson is requesting Doll taking a nice Sunday nap.
Gross. That's assuming hers has Sundays. I haven't. I'm gonna be full disclosure. I haven't gotten that far into figuring out how time works, or rather, how it is measured. Like they still say minutes and seconds and stuff, but like that doesn't necessarily mean they're the same. And then when you get to things like naming the months and the days, it's weird. And most fantasy settings that I've seen that actually do it either keep the ones we have now, which is bizarre. Like it'll just be like a medieval European fantasy setting with dragons on a different planet. And they're like, yeah, Monday. It's like, what? That's a weird detail not to bother with. And then you get the other common thing, which is like Elder Scrolls is a good example, where they just kind of change the days of the week, where like they still kind of sound like the ones we have, but they're not.
I don't mind it so much.
So we get things like Turtus,
Turtus.
Thursday, and Thursday in Skyrim is Turtus.
Right. What was it? I thought Monday was another funny one.
I thought it was Morndus.
Was it Morndus? Okay.
Or is it Lordus? Lordus might be Saturday. I don't remember.
And then they do that pretentious thing, where I guess it's not pretentious. I guess it's practical. It's just from a perspective of somebody who's looking upon it as a work of fantasy. It feels pretentious. Where like the months are all like first seed, winter's harvest, and like fluffy stuff like that. Which I guess from an in-universe standpoint, that is perfectly practical to call them those things.
Yeah.
Because it's based around like agriculture and shit. Ugh. Yeah, but there's only 2 gods, so I mean, there needs to be. There's more days than that, presumably. A week is probably not 2 days long. Unless it is, wouldn't that be wild?
That'd be pretty nuts.
No, I mean, because everything that we've done in Rising Sun is kind of based on 3s, so it'd have to be at least 3 or a multiple of 3, which is what I imagined. It's probably going to be a 6 or 9 day week. Yeah, no, same. I frequently forget what day it is. It looks like she's like protecting herself from falling rubble.
No, she's sleeping like a kid. They look like floppy kittens.
Oh, this is like looking down.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you just read this as like gravity go down, it looks like she's like ah. Oh my God, Monty, come get your food. Deal with food. I've been on a quest to touch my toes because I've never been able to do that. A, because I'm overweight, and B, because I am an artist and
That's not working.
we tend not to stretch despite being the people who need it most.
Yeah, we'll shout about it on Twitter
So I'm-
all day long. But
Yeah, we're always like, self-care, remember to do your stretches. Nobody's fucking doing their stretches. And that's the tea.
Now you know the secret.
That's the tea of the day. A straight oolong. Oh, fuck.
Standing.
Never been able to do it. And right now, the tips of my fingers are like, I want to say just less than 6 inches away from my toes.
I think it's closer than you've ever been.
No, it feels like it's the same, and it looks like it's the same.
No, I don't
I've
agree.
been using my hair as a measure. Because a while ago, the longest point in my hair was just brushing the ground. Actually, how long is my hair these days? Is it? It's well beyond ass length, right?
That one dread is.
No, they're all kind of. I mean, yeah. There's that one which seems to be the longest, but like, it's all pretty.
Oh yeah, you got like 3 that are about the. Oh no.
I have to be really careful these days because like, dreads get caught like in my butt crack when I go to take a poo. I gotta be very careful.
His hair is really long.
But the longest one was just brushing against the ground when I started. So if I just push them all forward like that.
Omar didn't want to know that.
Oh, fuck. What?
Omar didn't want to know that.
Also, I was totally lying. It's more like 3 inches.
Yeah, you're
It's
close.
it's pretty close, yeah.
You're definitely closer than what I remember you could do before.
Yes,
Oh.
it probably is heavy, but since I've been, I mean, it's my hair and it's been on my head the whole time. I can't tell.
No, it's heavy. I feel it if I get smacked in the face with it.
Yeah. Oh, when your hair is this long, everything is a nightmare. Because every time I sit on a couch or lie down on my back, like I'm pinning myself. Like I can't lift my head up and shit. So when I need to change sides when I'm sleeping, I basically have to like bounce myself into the air and like whip like a 180 while I'm in the air, so all my hair will swish out from under me, so I don't catch any of it on my body as it's moving. It's a fucking nightmare. And then half the time I'll smack her in the face. It's a nightmare. Don't have hair. It's the worst. I mean, and I don't. That's the truly ironic thing. I'm also bald, or like balding. Like I don't have much on top. So I kind of have this like dread skullet thing going on. And I do still have hair on top, but it's really, really thin.
It's very thin, yeah. But he looks great in a bandana, so
Yeah.
Andy's like, you're so tall.
I'm super tall, so nobody sees the top of my head anyways. I've been wearing a bandana for like 15 years. I really, really look like a pirate. Like, I look like I'm trying to look like a pirate on purpose. It just turned out that way. But yeah, I got a kind of Jack Sparrow thing going. You guys know what I look like. Oh yeah, no, she's injured all the time.
What?
By my hair.
Oh.
And it's scratchy. It feels like fucking hay. Like it feels like the ropes you had to climb in gym class. Like it's.
Are the ones that you do the apple cider thing for though? They're soft.
I don't have time. Like, good God. Look at them. Look at them. Just dust.
Don't do it on me.
I'm such a dusty old man.
I used to have really long hair too, but then.
And every so often, a piece of one of them will fall off, and I have to like zombie it back on.
Yeah, we always have needle and thread around the house. Some of it has got like twine.
Do I still have a twine one?
Or-
No, I thought that was long gone.
Oh, is it gone? Oh yeah, it's gone.
Every so often, when a piece of them falls off, I'll just not bother and just throw it in the garbage. Oh, me and my zombified hair.
I'm just going super gray. That's my interesting hair thing.
Yeah, well, I'm catching up slowly. I was kind of bummed because my beard is growing gray from like the underside first, but I had this one really prominent white hair like right in the front, and I don't know if I accidentally like ripped it off or something a few days ago. I just suddenly it was gone. And I was just there in the bathroom holding it in my hands, like what will I do now?
No, gray hair does tend to come out more, but it also seems to grow faster.
It does. Both of those things are true. It's also curlier, which is why you don't see a lot of old ladies with long hair.
I'm gonna be one of those ladies.
With long hair?
Oh yeah.
Well, you know, like the hippie artsy ladies are always the ones with long hair.
I'm not gonna cut it off anymore.
For real?
Yeah.
Like ever?
I really miss my long hair.
I feel like you're
it was
going.
really long when I
Nah.
moved up here.
I feel like you're gonna go through another cycle where you're like, let's do it short.
Don't let me.
No, it was good.
Because I always regret it.
No, it was good.
This is really cute.
Now, last time I had a haircut was officially, I think it was 16? This was a long time ago. I kind of want to go into one of those beard places, go and just get the perfect beard
Yeah.
because I have enough beard for that. I don't really know how to do it myself. Look at this kid.
I love it when little kids sleep like this. Not that she's little kid, but like, you know.
I mean, she's incredibly short.
No, I mean like little kids. They all sleep in like floppy kitten poses and.
I still feel like Doll would do that.
I don't know what she's sleeping on. She found something soft.
A butt.
A butt?
Soft butt.
She found pillows somewhere.
Leo's fur is actually really brown.
Yeah.
Like, he is not quite black.
No. He's got a brown suit.
Oh, that's weird. You're weird. Leo, you're weird. 420, blaze it. Do
No.
blaze.
I don't wanna.
Smoke a bomb.
No.
Okay. Where the fuck are these followers coming from?
Who retweet you?
I don't know. Some guy. Well, Guillaume did for one, so thank you. Also a guy who runs like a Joe Mad fan site. It seems.
Oh.
Who runs JoeMadArt.com. And he has shitloads of followers, I guess.
Yeah, I can't remember what Joe Mad's actual Twitter handle is. I think it's like Joe Mad X or something like that.
Yeah. It's one of those ones that you wouldn't expect. Like how Rob Liefeld is Robert Liefeld.
Yeah.
And not because Neil is Rob Liefeld.
No, I know. It's just funny.
That's crazy. That Rob Liefeld was available, and he just didn't take it.
I've never known or seen him to ever be credited as Robert. It's a very weird choice.
No, I don't even think he calls himself Robert.
Kingdom. No, I haven't watched it yet. I really, really want to, but it's you have to read it, right? Is it Korean? Am I wrong? Which is fine. I'm not against that. It's just it's hard to work and pay attention. But I really, really want to watch it. I have heard good stuff.
He is snoring now.
He's a snoring man.
He is a snoring man.
Nice. I love me some zombies. I should really just suck it up and put it on. Okay.
Rob liked the tweet. Finally. Oh shit. People are talking. Here I am, vainly looking at my Twitter. Yeah, I love Asian cinema a lot. They make better movies than we do. In general. Korean especially movies are
Right?
their sensibility when it comes to like shot composition and stuff is like I fucking love it. It's just I don't have time to read movies. I'm already doing Japanese. Fuck it. I'll do Korean next.
Yeah, he'll just read like the Japanese like game covers on the Raspberry Pi as it's on its screensaver mode, and like holy shit, it's awesome.
Yeah, but I can still only like I can read it all, but I can still only understand the words that are just English,
Yeah.
rendered as Japanese. I still don't have a big vocabulary, so I can read it, but I often have no idea what I'm reading.
I think I do pretty good reading French. I would not be able to have a conversation.
Not with me, because I'd be like, "Ew, French," and I'd tell you to just stop it right there.
Don't be rude.
We're in Canada. Nobody likes French in Canada. That's why we corralled them into like one spot. No, just stay in there. I mean, sorry, Guillaume.
Yeah, don't be rude.
As somebody who both enjoys and is knowledgeable about the art of package design, I hate that we have two official languages because every package of everything is ruined because there's no fucking space.
Well, it's helping me learn, so
Hate it. Hate it.
gonna sit on the toilet and
Oh,
read
Carson's learning French.
shampoo. What are you using?
War baguette. International symbol of groceries. If you're drawing a picture and somebody has a bag and there isn't a baguette sticking out of their bag, well, that can't be groceries.
Well, yeah. Shit, I've got one in that drawing of film.
Did he have a baguette?
He had a baguette, yeah.
How else do you know? Yeah, see, that's the problem I have with Japanese. Or it's not a problem. I mean, I'm obviously my vocabulary expands every day, but like, I've committed the characters to or not kanji, Jesus Christ, but I've committed like the basic alphabets to memory. But like, I don't know what I'm reading.
Well, I'm still impressed.
You should try Lingodeer. Lingodeer is more comprehensive, gives you more notes on the language you're learning, and doesn't bitch at you forever about money, which is pretty great.
I like Duolingo a lot. It got passive aggressive with me when I stopped using it. Duo, the little owl, popped up on my phone, was like, well, our notifications aren't working anymore, so we're not going to bug you. What? Come on, Duo.
But yeah, when I found Lingodeer, which started only doing Asian languages, but they've since added like Spanish, French, Portuguese,
Yeah.
Russian, and shit. For my money, which is $0, it is the better app. You get more for free, I think.
I caught one of the sales for like the upgrade your account thing, and I got more lessons on top of it.
Yeah, and that's what I like. The fact that it is a one-time fee, and it's a substantial fee. It's big, but like,
I think it was $40 when it was on sale.
yeah, it's cool that it's just like, all right, just pay us this one lump sum, and we'll give you the rest of the language. And now there's Lingodeer Plus, and it's kind of the scummy subscription model that every other language app has, which I get. They got to make their money somehow. I understand that. It looks like the core of each language is still going to be just the one-time fee thing if you want the entire lesson plan, but you still get shitloads for free. Like I'm nowhere near because I get super thorough before I move on, so it's been a very long time, and I'm still not at the end of Japanese 1. But like it's a long ass course before they even say like, hey, now pay us. But yeah, Duolingo is also good. It's really interesting too because like the inroads that an app will first make for a given language. Like for instance, I started Japanese with Duolingo. This is when I first injured myself, like my hand, so I had nothing to do. So I started learning Japanese, and I was pulling down like hundreds of experience a day because I literally had nothing to do. So I was just doing nothing but. But when I started with Duolingo, it was you're learning all in Japanese. You're learning all the niceties first. Like you're learning all the like incredibly polite shit and like how to say good morning and good afternoon and sorry and I'm very sorry and oh my god I'm so sorry and Japanese. But in Lingodeer, I'm really far in the app, and I don't even know how to say hello. Like, if, say, I was only using Lingodeer and Konnichiwa wasn't a global thing, I would still not have learned how to say hello. That's fucking crazy. It's interesting how each language tends to focus on a different thing, and it's different per app. What was T using to learn Spanish? Was it Duolingo?
I thought it was Duolingo.
And like it was all food.
Yeah.
It was all food first. But yeah, I really enjoy the way Lingodeer, before you start a given lesson, it gives you extensive notes on what you'll be learning and how it works, and I think that's incredibly valuable. I also like that Lingodeer doesn't gamify the idea of your streak as much, because obviously the streak is important. The streak can be incredibly motivating and demotivating if you fuck it up. But Lingodeer only requires that you log in. You literally don't need to do anything. As long as you log in, it's kind of an honor system, like as long as you do some every day. Like it doesn't have to be the goal, just as long as you are trying. That's all we ask. And I really like that. This is absolutely adorable.
I think I like it more upright. Thank you. Yay! Carson, that was a sweet thing with the word. Request. I think Rage was next to show.
Yeah, it checks out.
I was on day 3, I think it was on 380 something when I oopsed my streak. That was kind of a bummer. Liel wielding a two-handed war baguette.
Do it.
That's amazing. Okay. Alright. You all like giving Liel a weapon.
Which is really, in my head, Liel definitely fights barehanded.
like my headcanon, and none of this is committed to the script yet, but in my headcanon, she's going to be the fists only character.
Bare knuckle
Should
boxer.
she do any fighting?
Oh wow. Okay, hold on. Let me open the last one. Make sure I'm not drawing the same pose. Oh, God, when was that? I owe you guys sketches. That. Yeah. Okay.
More big cat. So that's like a baguette that you just leave out for a really long time, right? And it becomes like a great cudgel.
Baguette here.
Sorry, what?
She's a baguetteer. Baguetteer.
Baguetteer.
Baguetteer.
I say like it's a common word. It'd be baguetteer.
Whatever.
Sorry, I'm a fat white guy with a beard. I just tend to. It's so easy to just, it's in my DNA to mansplain things. I look like the kind of guy who should be. I don't fault anybody for being wary of a person who looks like me. Now you say we the French, but don't real French people hate Quebec people? I thought like France French, like find Quebec French like gross French. Are you like France French? Like actual. Oh, you're okay. So you're Quebec French. Yeah, I always thought that, or I had heard from. I have another friend who's Matt.
It's Matt.
Matt, who's in the chat sometimes. Uh, okay, so you are France French, and came to Quebec. Got it. Understood. But yeah, no. Matt is also French. And he's been my link to French things my entire, like, we've known each other since high school, and he always told me that France French, like, people who speak like proper France French look down on people who speak Quebecois French. I don't know how true that is. It's just Matt being a Quebecois French. Like, I don't know, maybe he's just sour grapes about being the wrong French. I don't know. But no, he's always been like, whenever I have to read something in French, I'm just like, Matt, what does that say? Because I never got out of like grade school French. That was as far as I learned, and I was just like, no. There was a time when my laptop died, and it turned out it was like a total hard drive failure. To this day, I haven't corrected it. That was the day my laptop died. And when the screen came, oh my god, this is amazing. It reminds me of Andy Cap a little bit, so that maybe that's less amazing because that is literally a comic about domestic abuse, but it's funny. I like it.
Well, now I don't want to finish it.
No, finish it. No, it's great. But no, anyway, so my hard drive dies, and for some reason, maybe just because I had the Canadian model of the laptop, the error screen comes up in French. And so I'm sitting here with a suddenly dead laptop. I have no idea what's going on. So I had to call up Matt, and this was kind of pre, like, streaming and screen sharing and stuff, like, was still not terribly common. So I had to call up Matt, and I had to ask him what this screen said that he couldn't see. So I had to speak, I had to read the French at him in an abominable English accent and have him try to figure out what I was saying to translate it back to me in English. And that's how I found out it was like the hard drive tank. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that tracks. Looking at history, that tracks. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't presume to know. I'm not a worldly man, unfortunately. I also mean all of this in jest. Please do not take offense at my horrible attempts at humor. I'm just really, really bad at French. Oh yeah? Like, is it poorly translated? God, it's like using Clip Studio Paint in English. Clip Studio, for a product that has grown that fast and is doing so well now, I'm actually surprised Clip Studio Paint is still so poorly translated.
It's just that one part, though. Everything else appears to be fine.
There's bits of like mouse over dialogue and stuff.
Oh.
That are still like, what? Like, and it's not that they're unreadable. Like, you can still tell what everything says, but like, it's like reading an IKEA catalog. It's like, it's off. Like, there's just bits of text that are just kind of like, that's a curious way to say that. Oh wow, that'd be fun. Like just as a curiosity, just to see. I think that's part of why I wanted to try learning a language, and maybe I should have tried something that didn't have its own alphabet. That it might have been faster. Just how it must be to be bilingual and to have two sets of basically like a dual boot brain where you can just have thoughts in either language. And I just want to see what that was like. It's turning out to be way harder than I thought, and just the absolute. It is so impressive to be able to understand two languages that like I want in on that, and it's turning out to be a lot harder than I thought. Yeah, wow. Yeah, Spanish. Jen knew more Spanish than French when she got here, because obviously in the States that's what you learn instead of French.
It depends on where you are. Like
Well,
northeast, you learn French.
if you're brushing up against Mexico, you're probably learning.
If you're in New Mexico and Texas, where I was, yeah, you learn Spanish. The very few kids were in the French class.
Yeah, like I have French up to like grade 8, so I can conjugate some basic verbs. I mean, living in Canada, literally everything is labeled in 2 languages, so I mean, my vocabulary in French is way bigger than it has any right to be. Like, I do know a lot of French words, and so like I can muddle through it, but I would not say I know the language. I would not be able to have a casual conversation in French. And then Japanese, I would say I'm at about a small school child level now in terms of the breadth of my vocabulary. I can say a lot of extremely basic things. And that's about it. And then I know like, your basic pop culture phrases of various other languages. I can say du hast. I can say a bunch of Rammstein things. I can quote a bunch of Rammstein lyrics. Yeah, no, I'm finding that, and that's I think the most fascinating part about it is that like I'm far enough in Japanese now, and this never happened in French, but I think that was because French was compulsory and that I at the time I didn't care. But now that I'm like actively trying to learn Japanese, like I find rudimentary though they may be, and this is what I was saying about like having a dual boot brain, like I'm just having thoughts in Japanese now. And I mean that's not like nothing day to day, but like certain things will run through my head. And yet it's like it feels different than when I have thoughts that are clearly in native English. It's very bizarre, but like it's cool, and so I hope I'm not. I hope that I can continue to finesse this because it feels bad to be bad at something, and so to be this bad at another language right now is like it's incredibly not humiliating. Humbling is the word that I'm looking for. Which is why I'm so amazed at people who can just go back and forth like it's nothing. It's incredible. Oh, that's true. You do, and links as well. Man, Zuna kicked my ass when it first came out. Like I learned of Rammstein's existence through it's the Mortal Kombat Annihilation soundtrack, I think, that has Rammstein on it. And I was like, well, that's a funny way to speak English. Well, I was like fucking like 12 or 13.
No way.
And I was like, that their accents are so thick, I can't understand what they're saying. And then it was like, oh, it's the other English, German.
I know how to say pencil.
And like
That's about it.
I remember at first I hated the way he sang. And I mean, I guess that never changed. I just thought it was cool that he sang so badly. I don't know where I was going with this. Zana kicked my ass though. Once they started adding like the orchestra and stuff, I was just like, oh, this is the greatest music ever.
Is that the Boxer Walkout song? I missed.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
I love music that's written for
That also explains why it counts to 10 in the song. That's the one thing I like about Rammstein to this day, even though they're kind of like mall goth metal at this point. Like, their songs are always, like, the lyrics of the songs are always extremely layered and like one thing is always a metaphor for another, and like they really, really clever lyricism.
Yeah, the whole gender thing. Like, I mean, I had a taste of that in Spanish, but like sometimes French doesn't follow its own rules, and that makes me crazy because then I don't get my points. Like, I'm like, you teach me a rule and then you break it, and then his shoe is really small.
Japanese has been really weird because like
I drew that sample too small.
because they don't really have plurals, and everything is just referred to by the basic concept of the thing, and everything, like most of the language is just running on whatever the context of the current conversation is, and it just assumes you know what everybody's talking about and how many everybody's talking about and whom and whatnot. Like it feels, as somebody who's coming from English and from somebody who has, I would say, an utter mastery of English, and then trying to apply that thing, like obviously trying to apply that thinking to a language that's so disparate as Japanese. Like Japanese feels like, I don't want to say rudimentary, but like it feels so simple where it's just like, it's just making generic references to the ideas of things. And that feels odd. And like now that I'm getting into the later lessons, it's starting to, you know, you can drill down into more specifics, but like in general, it is a much simpler, but I don't think simple is the right word. I guess it's more like efficient. It's just a very efficient language, which, I mean, Japan, of course it would be. And it's just really cool seeing how the way you have to think about language and assigning symbols and sounds to concepts is batshit from an English perspective. And there certainly is no genders for things. I mean, obviously they have different words, but like, you know, nouns in general are not gendered.
Oh my god, learning to count?
Yeah, holy fuck.
What is
Okay,
that?
yeah, for those of you who are not aware, in Japanese, this is the part that has like pissed me off the most about Japanese. In Japanese, everything that can be counted, so pretty much every noun or classification of noun, more accurately, has its own unit of measurement. So you have to waste your time and energy and hard drive space in your head remembering shitloads, scores and scores of counting words. So like there's a counting word for when you're counting small animals, but there's a different one for when you're counting large animals. And there's a counting word for when you're counting things that are flat. And there's a counting word when you're counting long cylindrical objects. And there's a counting word for when you're, and it's like, it's fucking bad shit. Just say there's 3. Just fucking say there's 3. You don't need to say there's 3x of bottles because you already know there's 3 and that there's bottles. You don't need to have a unit of measurement word for literally everything.
I would like to
It's
read.
crazy.
I would like to read something that teaches why that exists when it's a language that's so heavily reliant on context.
I'm
Like, I want to know.
I'm sure that just came into the language at some point a couple hundred years ago, and they just haven't changed it. That's just Japanese. That's just one of the weird quirks of Japanese. Like, I mean, look at English. English has so much crazy
English is a
shit
nightmare.
we don't need. Crazy rules that don't need to exist.
Rach, I'm glad you like this. Thank you for that request.
And I feel like the counting thing in Japanese is just like, that's one of their weird quirks that you just got to deal with.
Who's next?
But it's the worst, and I hate it.
Omar, you were the next one to show up. I'll go for another 15 minutes. But my hand's starting to get crank, so I could do one more.
Let's do it, eh?
Let's do it. Yeah, Sorrel did something stupid.
Sorrel's always doing stupid shit. It is so bizarre that we have another entire act to get through, and at the end of that act, another entire year and a half of this comic, another 24 hours will have gone by in the comic.
That's wild. What comic timing?
It's so weird.
Okay, so we're supposed to choose a D&D class for Ro.
Ro doesn't have a D&D class. She has a Rising Sand class. If she was a D&D character, I guess she would be...
That's the game, yeah. Play along.
Oh, jeez. Her Rising Sand class, by the way, is Templar. That's probably too easy. She would be a paladin.
She would be a paladin.
She would be a paladin.
Which means I'd have to draw the suit.
Well, no, you would just have to draw armor.
I would have to draw the armor. She would be a paladin, though.
She would be a paladin. That is...
Okay. Okay. Oh gosh. Alright.
No, she would be paladin. Dahl would be rogue. Sorrel would be rogue. Bone would be rogue. Oh, jeez.
I think Sorrel could be trickster. That might be.
Is that a class now? Oh wow, I haven't been. I'm still on 3.5.
I'm learning so much shit from like Crit Roll and taking D&D.
Critical Role didn't invent any of that.
I don't think so.
Oh wow,
I don't. Yeah.
I did not know about that. Kev would be monk. Oh jeez, what else we got? Chris would be ranger.
Yeah.
Or like a kind of specialty kind of ranger.
All right, so I can give her the big.
Yeah, give her the Warcraft pauldrons. She'll be like an Uther Lightbringer kind of.
I had to draw him a couple of times.
If I had to start Rising Sand again, the suits would be more like that, and less like Warhammer Marines.
I think we did a really good job making them unique, though.
Yeah, because most people wouldn't be so lazy that they just make it baggy chainmail.
Oh, Trickster is a rogue spec for the 5th edition. Okay. I'm learning so much.
Oh my god. I was about to continue this and then realized the character I was about to talk about would be too spoily. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
But I want.
No, just don't worry
But
about
I
it.
want.
Just don't worry about it. Yeah, D&D is fun. I miss old D&D. I'm not really into what it's become with the everybody's starting podcasts and streaming it, and it's like a sport now. And I'm delighted for its success. I said this recently that I forget who I was talking to. Like, I am delighted for its success. I'm glad it is what it is now. And I don't ever pretend that something is just for me forever. But, like, back when I used to play it, which was, like, God, like, 2000, between, like, 2000 and, like, 2004 was probably my big heyday for it. Like, we didn't even use miniatures. It was just, we would sit around and just, dude tells a story, and every so often you roll dice. And, like, back then it was like D&D was this intensely personal thing where you would all tell stories about it later, like it really happened, and it was great. And that kind of flavor was, I think this is what a lot of angry white males feel about comic books, and how comic books are big now. But, like, they hate it, and they can't deal with it, so they turn into
like, get off my
misogynist
yard.
assholes, yeah. I miss when D&D was like that, but I mean I'm never gonna try to take that away from anybody who enjoys it now, because so many people are having so much fun now that, like, that's great. I like that. Like, I'm less interested in playing it now, but I love to see that so many people, like, it's enriching so many people's lives. Part of what scares me about D&D now is just, like, so much is expected of DMs and players. Now that Critical Role has been like, D&D should be this incredibly polished product. And, like, so, like, there's so much more you have to do as a person preparing an adventure now, thanks to Critical Role.
Watching some of the people I follow on Twitter talking about DMing for the first time and the stress that comes with it, like, I feel bad for folk. Like, just, you don't have to be that professional. Just
I will
have
tell
fun.
you, wasn't like that in the old days. Back then it was just like, I wrote some things down on a sheet of paper, I'll do some voices, whatever.
I've only played it like a couple of times, and Matt was our DM, and I'm still completely and hopelessly new to it. I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but it was fun because I was with friends, and we were playing make believe. It was great.
Yeah, that was always my favorite experience. Was sitting around a table and taking 6 hours to do 20 minutes of an adventure. Because you're too busy eating chips and making jokes. And that was the best. And, like, I'm still down to play D&D now. I would fucking love to have a weekly group again.
Right?
But the problem is, now I'm in my 30s, and nobody has the fucking time to play it every week. Except me.
Well, even then we don't.
Hang on. Oh yeah, no, I've DM'd before, and yeah, it is. It's just like with the success of projects like Critical Role and other stuff like that, where people have, like, unlimited money to make the best, like, incredibly talented people and shitloads of money to make, like, an unbelievably polished product. Like, the general consensus, particularly because of Critical Role, is like, oh, that's what DMing is. And it's like, no, it doesn't have to be that. Like, you can be bad. It's fine. And it is still exactly as fun, even if you're bad. Yeah. Truth be told, even I've never read the entire books. And I'm still talking about 3.5. I know very little about 5th edition. And 4 sucked. 4 was like a weird video game. I didn't like it. And most people agree. Like, the thing you have to remember about, especially about DMing, is that at the end of the day, when you're playing Dungeons & Dragons, or any tabletop game, the DM rules. And so, regardless of what the book says, and the book will tell you this, regardless of what the book says, and regardless of what the rules are, and regardless of what the dice rolls are, whatever comes out of the DM's mouth is gospel. And so if the DM wants to cheat, for good or for bad, in the service of making the story more interesting and the player's time more enjoyable,
that is perfectly fine. Do whatever the fuck you want. If you're the DM, you can just lie. And just if it makes everybody have a better time, then it was the right thing to do. Oh, we got some people who like 4 here. I don't like 4. 4 was stupid. Where you had all those fucking like cards and everything. Do they still have the cards? We didn't have cards back when I played. And then 4th edition came out, there was cards. And I guess there's cards now just to keep track of shit, which is a good idea. But I remember it felt video gamey, and we didn't play it very much, and we just went back to 3.5. But yeah, 90% of all the D&D I've ever played. See, this looks so much better than the armor we have. We should have just done this.
We almost did, but they were like, nah, it's not big enough. Because it's not, she's 5'2"?
She's 5'2". Ro is 5'2".
She's not scary in this.
That's canon. Ro is 5'2". Well, we could give her like platform shoes.
So we needed the suits to be bigger.
Yeah, that's a good point. With the what Guillaume was saying, not you.
Fine.
Yeah, again, but back then too, it's important to note I was mostly a player back then. Because we had one friend who turned out to be a terrible person.
This is who we...
Yes, this is who you think it is. But he was a really good DM. He had this excellent, amazing skill of instantly turning dice rolls into interesting passages of text. Like, he would have you roll your attack, and if it was, above the difficulty class, and, like, got through the armor, like, he would instantly tell the story of how that blow landed, and, like, exactly, like, it's a underhand swing into a, and, like, he was so fucking good at making language that just spinning it off the top of his head, like, practically in real time, except for the dice rolls. And it was really, really good. And I feel in that way I was kind of spoiled because we happened to have a guy who was just really good at that. And like, yeah, we never needed miniatures or anything because he was just so good at that shit that we were all just like sitting there kind of like enraptured about like the fight we were all imagining just in our heads. And that's another thing too, like because the DM rules, like we didn't need to know how many squares away something was. It was just like, whatever, just estimate distances, it's fine. This is great. I like this. I'm one of those players who always develops my characters to have an enormous flaw that makes the game way harder.
Oh yeah, you're blind. What was he, a monk?
He was a blind drow monk.
Drow monk, right.
I was once a dwarven monk who only had one arm. I forget what the stat like penalty was on that. I know my two-handed weapon was like basically I get like a minus so much trying to use a two-handed weapon. Oh yeah, no, I'm not disparaging miniatures. I get that like that is how the game is quote unquote supposed to be played, and people who don't have good imaginations, which is most people, it helps them to see what's actually happening. It makes more sense. Like, I don't even know why we started playing without miniatures, but we just did, and that's just how it went. We were just all around a table, and there was candles and beer, and we just spun a yarn, and that was just how we played. Oh yeah. There's also that consideration is that the miniatures are the recurring monetization for the game. Yeah, no, we didn't want to pay, like, God, I forget how much miniatures even were back then.
They're more now.
They're really pricey.
Yeah, they're not cheap unless you get like the third party stuff. There are some really good third party miniatures, but yeah, that is another important thing to note is that like we didn't want to spend the ridiculous amount of money. We still had like maps and shit, like general maps of the areas and stuff, but like there was no visual representation of the like up to the minute like dungeon or whatever.
It's really difficult to draw Rowan armor and not like go oversized like I'm used to doing. Like her hands don't need to be almost you know, 150% bigger than her head.
See, when we get to the movie, the armor will look more like this. Like when the movie happens, when we get that sweet movie money,
Maybe
the armor will probably look more like this.
just use movie tricks to make her look bigger and more menacing.
I don't understand why she would have to look bigger and
If
more
she's
menacing.
standing next to Keb in this,
Well, who gives a shit? They're xenophobes. Why would they design their shit around what other races think of them?
I'm saying for the viewer. I wouldn't look at this standing next to Keb and be like, oh, she's a formidable foe.
Well, who gives a shit? You're not supposed to.
You see the point I'm trying to make, though, right?
Not really, no. Yeah, that's another important point. Most leading men in Hollywood are really short for some reason.
That's true.
Tom Cruise is what, like 5'5"?
He's very wee. Yeah,
Like that's pretty short.
that's yeah.
I'm sorry, does that say 4 or 5? No, he's definitely taller than that. Is Stallone short? I didn't know. I thought Stallone was super tall.
I don't know.
Like I thought he was legit, actually tall. I need to look that up. I need to look that up. I feel like I've looked this up before.
Stallone?
How tall is Sylvester Stallone?
$5'10".
Oh wow. I mean that I wouldn't call that short. Like that's well within like
Just
average height.
for
But
an-
that's shorter than I would have thought. Yeah.
For an action star, you would think 6 something, or 6. Chris Jericho is 5'10".
That's very for a wrestler. That's incredibly short. Wrestlers are huge people. I'm just gonna ask Google, and we'll see what Google has to say about it. We'll be like, "Hey Google." Actually, we'll ask DuckDuckGo because that's just the default on my phone. I only go to Google when I absolutely cannot find something on DuckDuckGo, which unfortunately is kind of often. Like, Google is the #1 search engine for a reason. But I'd rather not be tracked more than I have to be. DuckDuckGo says 5'9" for Stallone. I'll try Google anyways. Sly Stallone height. Oh, they're saying in meters, 1.77 meters. How the fuck am I supposed to know that? What is that? Like, yeah, we're Canada and we do metric, but not for heights. In feet. Google says 5'10".
And while we're at it, how tall is Frank Stallone? Frank Stallone is 6 feet tall. Frank Stallone is taller. Sylvester Stallone's mother looks like Michael Myers. I'm not even kidding.
My goodness, she
So-
really does look like the mask, doesn't she?
Sylvester Stallone's mother looks like fucking Michael Myers from Halloween.
Oh my goodness. Lots of plastic surgery.
That is, this is like my aunt. This is horrifying. I can't even look at this.
Really? She's that bad?
Almost. Like she will age. Oh, it's not on screen anymore. But she will age into that.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I like, do you. If you want tons of plastic surgery, great. But like, no.
Yeah, I did get 5. Oh wait, no, I got 5'9". That's strange. It is so bizarre to think that if I met Sylvester Stallone, I'd be looking down at him. That blows my goddamn mind. He looks so frigging big in movies. I mean, I guess, you know, girth-wise, he is.
That's cute.
I dig it a lot. I like that. Good armor. Now, do you find that easier to draw?
I guess. I mean, it'd probably still be the same amount of stress.
Okay.
Thank you. Not bad. I ended at 15 more minutes.
Schwarzenegger is 6'2". Just
God, I really thought he'd be taller than that. I mean, 6'2" is huge, but like, jeez.
well, 6'2" is me.
I can't remember if Big Show is 7 foot even or 7'2". I want to say it's 7 even.
His heart is 7'2". Because he's a wonderful man.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He's a wonderful man that was in Star Trek. I forget, is he only in Enterprise? Yeah, he's only in Enterprise. He plays when they go to that market world
No, I remember. Yeah.
and the crew gets like sold as slaves.
Yeah.
He's the Orion.
And then The Rock is in Voyager. That's so cool.
And the Rock is in Voyager. And then the Rock punches Jerry Ryan.
He rock bottoms her. That's amazing. I want to be rock bottom.
I love, that's my favorite part of sports people being in TV and movies is they design a way for the sports person to do their sports thing. So like, Shaq spends all of Kazam not playing basketball until the very end where he turns the bad guy into a basketball and slam dunks him into like a vent.
It's amazing.
And they're like, he did the thing. He's that basketball man. Don't forget, he also does the basketball. We certainly don't forget he raps, though.
I forgot he raps.
He raps for the whole goddamn movie. That's literally the plot of the movie.
I know, but I forgot.
Like, he literally becomes a rapper as a job in
Yeah,
the movie.
I know. I forgot.
I guess we gotta watch Kazam.
I don't want to
Drag Race is canceled. We're gonna watch
Oh,
Kazam.
I don't want to watch Kazam. Don't make me watch Kazam.
Canceled.
Oh, no. Okay. This was a good stream. I'm gonna cut it off now because my hand's cranky and I'm hungry.
I ordered another thing on Amazon.
Joe Pesci raps too.
Holy shit. Wait, what was that in? I remember that. I remember him rapping. Didn't he just like have an album? God, I've heard Joe Pesci rap before. It's exactly what you think it is. But yeah, I on Amazon I bought another thing that will hopefully allow me to set up a second monitor, and hopefully I can also do some streaming come next week. Because holy shit, getting streaming to work well on a Mac has been a fucking nightmare, and I do not recommend. And I am hoping that sooner rather than later, I'll be able to at least get like a mid-range PC tower that can just kind of be the streaming machine, and I can just offload everything to that. But yeah, hopefully by next week I will be able to also pick up some of the slack. Jen has been wonderful doing all the streaming for the last few months now,
I'm amazing.
and I am looking forward to taking some of that burden soon. But yeah, thanks for coming out. I didn't realize you added the hearts.
Oh yeah, that was forever ago.
I never noticed that. Jesus Christ. Alright, anyways, thanks for showing up, guys, and we'll see you on the internet very soon. Have a lovely evening, or, whatever, based on your location.
Oh my goodness. Alright, you guys are amazing. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Okay,
bye.
bye.